In the pages of history, there are moments that continue to haunt our collective consciousness, serving as grim reminders of the power and manipulation that can shape the minds of the young. The Hitler Youth, an organization born in the tumultuous era of Nazi Germany, stands as a chilling example of how youthful idealism can be exploited to serve dark agendas. Delving into this complex and unsettling chapter, we unveil the tale of the Hitler Youth, a cautionary narrative that highlights the dangers of indoctrination and the importance of critical thinking. A generation entrapped. In the early whispers of the 1920s, as the world was still catching its breath from the chaos of the First World War, a young Austrian named Adolf Hitler stepped onto the stage of history with a vision that would shake the very foundations of society. And at the heart of his ambitious plan was an organization that would come to be known as the Hitler Youth, or in the lyrical cadence of the German tongue, the Hitler Jugend. Imagine, if you will, a world draped in uncertainty, where economies teetered like spinning tops and political turmoil was the only constant. Against this backdrop emerged the Hitler Youth in 1922, a seemingly innocuous youth movement that promised much more than met the eye. With Adolf Hitler himself at the helm, this new venture wasn't just about knitting young hearts together in camaraderie. It was a grand design to craft a new breed of loyal foot soldiers for the Nazi regime. As the news of the movement spread, it acted like a siren's call to a generation that was grappling with the shadows of a post-war world. Young hearts, eager for a sense of purpose and belonging, found solace within the ranks of the Hitler Youth. Children from every corner of society, be they from humble homes or lofty ones, were drawn by the promise of adventure, unity, and purpose in a world that was desperately seeking stability. Amid the chaos of economic hardship and the tumultuous dance of politics, the Hitler Youth stood as a sanctuary for these young souls. It offered a community where they felt valued, a stage on which they could play their part in a grand spectacle. It promised adventure under the open sky, the thrill of marching in formation, and the camaraderie that comes with being part of a larger-than-life movement. It's almost as if the stars had aligned to create a perfect storm of aspiration and influence, leaving no heart untouched. But as the years rolled on and the movement's grip tightened, the veil began to lift. The Hitler Youth was more than just a youth organization. It was a living, breathing testament to the power of manipulation. Behind the banner of unity and belonging lay a well-orchestrated symphony of indoctrination. Young minds were shaped, beliefs were molded, and futures were cast under the long shadow of a regime that sought to control every aspect of life. Youth as a tool of propaganda. Propaganda was the lifeblood of the Hitler Youth movement. The regime skillfully manipulated young minds through a combination of ideological indoctrination, youth camps, and charismatic leadership. Children were inundated with images of a glorified past and a promising future, while being encouraged to embrace racial superiority and hatred towards those deemed inferior. The Hitler Youth's reach extended into education, literature, and entertainment, effectively silencing dissenting voices and creating a generation loyal to the Nazi cause. The allure of adventure. At its core, the Hitler Youth movement was a masterclass in exploiting youthful curiosity and the innate thirst for adventure. The organization's outdoor activities, camping trips, and paramilitary drills tapped into the spirit of exploration and camaraderie, offering a sense of purpose that was particularly enticing to impressionable young minds, a sinister trap that ensnared countless innocents, resistance, and rebellion. Not all members of the Hitler Youth embraced its ideologies without question. As the war progressed and the realities of Nazi atrocities became clearer, a growing number of young individuals began to resist the indoctrination. Secret meetings, acts of sabotage, and even small-scale rebellions sprouted among those who saw through the facade. These brave souls, often paying the price with their freedom or even their lives, remind us of the resilience of the human spirit against the forces of manipulation. Lessons for today: the tale of the Hitler Youth serves as a stark reminder that the fertile ground of youth can be cultivated for good or ill. By examining the depths to which youthful idealism can be exploited, we arm ourselves against the potential dangers of modern-day propaganda and radicalization.